Hello. Welcome. Oh, or welcome back. I literally was just like, I have to stop working. And I put my phone in the thing and started talking to you guys. So maybe that is a message for you. Take a break from work. Shit. Anyway, hi. What am I doing? All right, let me get this out of my face. God, I just was kind of finding myself being very frustrated and why am I still doing this? I don't want to be doing it right now. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I just fucking stopped. And like I said, I started talking to you guys. So quite the intro. But this is a reading for now that I'm looking at this thing that I was working on, I'm like, is it actually working? Okay, sorry. All right, let me get out of here. I'm leaving this in here too because I'm just honoring that it may be part of the message. And actually, I need this back because. So, sorry for the absolute mess that this has been so far. We'll see how it goes the rest of the reading. This is a reading for the 4-6 Human Design Profile, the Opportunist Role Model. If you don't know what your Human Design Profile is, there is a link in the description below for you to get your Human Design Body Graph. And your profile, will be listed on there. You don't need to know a ton of human design, obviously, other than your profile. Because these messages really are intended to be an additional source of information or an additional channel to receive a message. Because, not every 4-6 is a Capricorn or a, Gemini. So definitely be sure to check out your zodiac sign readings if you haven't already. Those are all up for your viewing pleasure. And yeah, is there anything else besides taking a deep breath? I'm glad that actually finally came. See? That could be the reason for needing to step away from something, and waiting for the deep breath to happen. I used to smoke cigarettes, and part of a big part of that habit is stress relief almost, right? If you ever have smoked cigarettes, then it's a reason to take a break. It's a reason to step away. It becomes a reason, to help relieve stress or anxiety or whatever. And my friend, who actually happens to be a 4-6, hello. I remember her saying to me that part of what are you doing when you smoke, right? You're breathing. You're taking deep breaths. Granted, you have this, harmful, toxic, not great for your body thing. And I'm not judging anybody who smokes or still smokes, whatever. But, right. But I mean, you are intentionally taking deep breaths, right? And it's one of those things of why can't we do that without needing to have that reason or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm going to kind of write that down though. I'm trying to get better at titles. And if I don't write it down in the moment, I just won't remember. So anyway, that the whole point of stepping away from something is, for you, for me, clearly in this moment, to take a deep breath, to breathe. Also too, I love how it just kind of showed up. Because really it's almost like activating your parasympathetic nervous system. Is that the chill one? So let's set the intention for the reading. I'm also like really trying to be more intentional in general. Another deep breath. And I have like my intention written down because I'm not one of those people that can just like spit off the top of my head. Like, you know, people who can just like come up with affirmations like super quick, just boom. No. So, crown open. I anchor into the present and the truth within it. I welcome only what is clear, balanced, and aligned. All distortion, fear, interference remain outside this space. May these messages travel through me, not from me, to those who called for them, carrying honesty, clarity, and calm. All right, let's party. So for the 4-6, let's just get 3 cards for the 4-6. Also, like I feel like these messages today, the ones that I've done today, you're actually my 4th one that I've done today, which is unheard of. Unheard of for your girl. They have been, like I wish every time I sat down to do a reading, they flowed the way that they have been flowing today. We have the Queen of Swords. I just heard like discernment in my head. How many cards is this? Isn't that 3? All right. We'll look at the bottom of the deck eventually. So we have the Queen of Swords, the Chariot, Ace of Swords, 5 of Cups. So, off the top, we have air and we have water energy here, which is interesting. I also love that we have the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords in the same reading. Air or swords is about our mind and our mindset, beliefs, perspective, truth, honesty, ideas. It's also, you know, like how we're communicating those things. Anything, right? Like headspace, mental. And then we have the other, which is, you know, water, which is our emotions. The emotional body, our intuition, our gut, love. So it's interesting. Like I wonder what is going on like between your headspace and your body, like your intuition. Which, I mean, even like for intuition, it's not necessarily like it's like, you know, coming from the body. I mean, it might, of course, for you, but like for me, I always tend to hear my intuition behind me to the right. It's like the bottom part of, I wish, I mean, I'm like pointing to it like you can see. But you know, what is that area of like the back of your neck where like they touch for like massage? What is that? I wonder, can I Google it? Let's see. Ugh, that's like a okay. What? Occipital. I can't even say the word. That is the area. My brain is like totally glitching right. Occipital. Okay. Hopefully I got that close enough to where like you know where I'm talking about. But anyway, so for me it's like that area, like, you know, down and to the right is where I tend to hear my intuition. And it's also, it's like it's behind me type of thing. It's whatever, you know, I don't know. Like that's just what happens for me, right? I mean, it's different for everybody. And it's in the head too. So that's why I'm like, you know, I do wonder like what is going on between like what your brain is telling you versus what your intuition is telling you. And also like how are they lining up and where are they not? And it's almost like if you have a certain guidance, but then your brain jumps in there and it starts like getting involved, you know, in some capacity, what's happening there as well. I know like the first thing that I heard with the Queen of Swords was discernment. And that can be discernment, of course, like in your perception or, you know, the experiences that you're having, the stories that you are, you know, attaching to those experiences. It can also be discerning the thoughts that are coming into your mind. It can also be what I just heard is I heard consuming, but then I heard like it was like consuming content. Being discerning of like literally the information that you are taking in, wherever that information is coming from. It really seems like there's nobody else on these cards. The queens are when we embody the energy of the suit. Actually, I'm going to put this just like that. This is Moldavite. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay. I just, yeah. What does it say? 15 million years ago. Well, okay. Germany. Let's see. Properties. Here we go. Transformation and spiritual growth, believed to enhance intuition. Facilitate spiritual insights and promote a strong connection to cosmic energy. I really think that there's a battle happening, and it's not like not necessarily like a physical thing, and maybe not even like uncomfortable, you know, like when I think battle anyway, which is why I'm kind of trying to like discern what I mean. You know, when I think battle, I'm thinking, like soldiers and war and blah, blah, blah. Right. But it's almost just kind of, there is maybe a transitionary period. It's like there's still remnants of like old patterns, old beliefs, stories, blah, blah, blah. But there's a new way of being, pattern, belief, story that you're integrating. And it's like that in between space, which who loves that? What is this? The Hermit. I swear it like moved. I don't think that it did, but I swear that's why I was like, what is this? But yeah, I mean, like truly, like just being in transition, or what I say, integration, which is probably why there is a message here about really almost like being conscious, aware, intentional of what you are consuming. I truly like the people that you are around, the social media, the TV, the YouTube even. Thank you for choosing me. But yeah, because it's like I said, like it's kind of in that in between space a little bit, and that could be where there's like some discomfort and maybe like grabbing for distraction or whatever. But I think the key here is to be sure that your actions are aligning with whatever the new thing is. And maybe it's also trying to like align your head again, with your emotional, I keep hearing habits too. Because even, like the way that we think, how we think, which I guess is probably the way that we think too, but the way that we feel, how we go about feeling that, is really kind of like based on habitual cycles of, associating a meaning or a feeling to a story, to a belief, to an action, And if it's like that, you are deconstructing a lot of that stuff, deconditioning too. Like, I mean, with human design, like a big part of it is deconditioning. It's recognizing where we have been conditioned to live or operate in a specific way. It's recognizing that, and then it's kind of the liberation or the freedom to choose differently. But I mean, it would be that easy, right? But like, if we are trying to break patterns that we have had for decades, that are just ingrained in our identities and ways of being, then there is going to be this like extended transitionary period, because you have to like continuously choose different. Eventually it'll become your new habit, your new homeostasis, right? But like, and if you're kind of in that not in the womb, but like newborn baby status, like there's something that's already been established or already been decided on, especially with the Queen of Swords here. Like there's already been a decision made Now it's really like aligning your actions, your feelings, your mindset, even like around this new thing. Yeah, I mean, there's the last full moon is happening tomorrow in Gemini. I brought that up because the chariot is Cancer, and there's all these moons back here, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. But it's not even necessarily that you're going to do anything specific in relation to the full moon, but you might just be feeling this oomph, or just really be mentally like locked in, laser focus, um and with the Queen of Swords being out here, it's like, don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to like use that discernment, because the Queen of Swords is usually like, people depict the Queen of Swords as being a bit of a cold bitch, because she's got the Ace of Swords there, which we also have on the table, and she'll just cut through any bullshit. Like if you try to come to her and present bullshit to the Queen of Swords, she'll cut you. And of course, even that, right? Like you don't have to be rude or dismissive or, but it's just, no is a complete sentence, and you don't owe like anybody an explanation either, type of thing. And it really is like, because you are honoring your own path forward. And maybe even like wanting to get some momentum with that. Because like I said, there's nobody else. Even on like the Hermit card, like there's nobody else on these cards. So this is very like either internal or introspective. It really doesn't have to do, like with other people right now. And really, even like allowing for clarity to come in, because I mean still, if you're in between, or if you're in transition, there's like a destination, there's a goal that you're heading towards, right? Or like a completion, or whatever. But it's like, it still might be expressing itself or like unfolding for you. So like with Swords too, there's a clarity aspect. And with the Five of Cups, it's like, it's really feeling your feelings is what I heard in my head. The Five of Cups talks about, ow, I just started picking at my at my thumb. It talks about grieving and loss. I mean, we can see that the Five of Cups is, the person on the Five of Cups is focused on these three cups that have turned over. There's still these two cups back here that have water in them, but the focus is on these three cups. So See, I just got distracted. Like somebody texted me. I have this effing computer open and I just got distracted. See? That's why. Maybe you need to tell people to leave you alone. Like only reach out to me if it's, like totally necessary. At least for the time being, right? Because I really don't think that this is forever. Who knows really like how long? I think that, is also really up to you. But, maybe you just like need to tell people, look, I really just need to be focused on myself right now. And, I will be back, like, but for the next week, couple weeks, month, whatever, the rest of the year, because, there's really only 28 days left. Maybe you just kind of tell people that like you're going to be focusing on the things that you absolutely need to focus on. And as far as like, interactions and responsibilities and shit, but like outside of that, you're really going to be like almost like cocooning, like really focusing on yourself. And I think that has to do in part with honoring whatever these 3 cups are. Like there's something that needs to be honored, is the way that it keeps coming to my mind. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be just, like you crying and grieving. And again, like the traditional ways, it's really interesting how I keep saying these things and then it keeps like immediately being like, it doesn't have to be how we usually think about it. Right. But it's like recognizing that there is an energy or an emotion, because we're talking cups, there's an emotion there that needs your attention so that it can be released. And we still have these 2 cups back here, right? So it's like, again, it's not anything that's going to be forever or for any extended period of time, but it's also one of those things of, if we continue to avoid it and not want to feel the discomfort or the grief or whatever the emotion is around it, then it's going to keep following you. There could even be, just because you have more information now or more experience now, a different perspective coming up around it, or just a different understanding of it. Like the Hermit card is all about introspection and isolation. They really, it's honoring your own unique path. Also, even like, where do we go from here is like what I'm hearing in my head. And it's like, the way to hear that is by getting quiet. By being with yourself. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. And I usually use this time to, invite you or ask you to follow me if you haven't already. But this time I'm being really passive aggressive. Come to find out. And truly, because I feel like 5 or 6 people see these messages, which is, it's kind of more like personal readings, really. It's just like more intimate. It's like we're just all sitting around as a group, chatting about your cards. And anyway, and I'm like, I know all 5 of you are already subscribed to my channel, right? That's my passive aggressive. Like, I can go on a tangent about it, but whatever. I would really love for this space to grow, though, and I would really love for these messages to reach more people. But I also have to trust that they are reaching the people who are they are meant to reach. And I'm hoping that bubble gets much bigger. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, Page of Swords, Seven of Swords, King of Cups, Ten of Cups. It's interesting that at the bottom of the deck is like where other people kind of start to like come in here. And maybe it's a matter of like discerning your role, or the role that you've been playing with or within other people. And really recognizing, because both of these cards talk about what are you getting back? What are you receiving in relation to this, connection, the thing that you are putting your energy into, whatever it is, whether it is a person or a job, yourself, even, of course, your future self could even be the thing. Because, the Six of Pentacles is, it is like giving and receiving. It's pentacles. It has to do with money, your time, your physical energy, your physical presence, your health. And the Six of Pentacles is about like reciprocity or giving and receiving. Like it has a charity aspect to it. It could be that you or somebody has like expertise or resources, information that is beneficial to you or to them, because of, like I said, like you could be on either side of this, and they offer that to you. And there would be an exchange on your end, whether that's a monetary thing, or volunteering your time, or sharing, some of your expertise as well. However, though, like it has to be in balance and an equal energy exchange. Right? And it's interesting that this is on top of the Queen of Swords. So, and the first thing I heard with the Queen of Swords was discernment. So again, like really honing in on where you are spending your time, your energy, your money, and what you are receiving back for that. Like, is it aligned? Is it equal? I usually like don't see this card as like anything that like with strings attached. And I don't really feel like that involves any strings. But, like if you are giving more than you are receiving back, then that is something that you would want to be discerning about. Like you would want to pull back a little bit and match that energy. Especially if it is taking a lot out of you. Not like, oh, I'm going to match your energy, like, and again, there's another, I wonder what that is. Is there a word for that? Like there's another thing where it's like, usually when I hear matching energy, it's always kind of like in a customer service aspect. And if somebody's giving you attitude, match it back. And then they're like, usually like, how dare you? And it's like, what? That's the energy that you're putting out. And now you're offended that I'm like giving it back to you. Like, imagine how anybody else feels, right? But that's not, that's what I'm saying as far as like, that's what I usually, think of when I hear matching energy. But it's literally just about you making sure that you're not like giving too much to where it's like draining you in some aspect, or affecting your health, or affecting your bank account, and also wanting to be sure that what you are putting your energy into, what you are investing your money into, the people that you are trusting with your health are honoring like their part of the deal, because if they're not, somebody else will. Like there would be somebody else who would be more energetically aligned with you. We have the Two of Cups with the Chariot card. This could either be, of course, making aligned connections, but we can see in this card, hopefully, I don't know if you can like see that, how the water is like flowing between both of their cups, right? And I see the Two of Cups as like shared values, like both people enter into the connection with their full cup. They know how to fill their cup. They fill their cup themselves. They can offer that cup because like they know that what they will receive back will fill their cup back up. And also, what I was saying with the Six of Pentacles, like releasing the things that are not in alignment creates the space, or like frees up the energy for you to find something or someone who is more in alignment with you, because like you wouldn't be continuing to search if you kind of settle for somebody, or if you're just like, well, I've already been working with them, I'm just going to kind of continue to see how it goes, but it, like you already probably know that like maybe it's just not quite right, and just whatever, right? Like seeing what happens, seeing if it gets better, seeing whatever, versus just being like, what, this actually isn't like, this actually isn't going to probably get much better. And it's also even like making the like mental decision to release it in some capacity, or to like allow yourself to start scanning or start looking for alternatives. It's not like you're like, oh, like this job isn't working for me anymore, and you just quit one day. Like, I mean, obviously if that is accessible to you, great. But it could just be you like coming to that realization, almost like accepting that truth and being like, fuck, okay, I need to update my resume. I need to start looking, like at other jobs, like putting feelers out there, right? Like it's just literally like energetically, like allowing yourself to be open to receiving. And with the fourth line, just mention it to your friends, mention it in your friend group before you stop talking to them. Maybe not to your coworkers. I don't know. Are people still weird about that? But just kind of putting the feelers out there, maybe on like, well, block all your coworkers and your boss on LinkedIn, and then, put your status as searching or available, or I don't remember what it is, and I deleted LinkedIn. But, and I'm just using that as an example anyway, but of course, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, discern for yourself. But with the fourth line, right, like your greatest opportunities are going to be found within your network, within the people that you know. So even just interactions that you hear, like, oh, I heard this place is working, or this person got a job at this company and they love it, or whatever, just sit like, and all you really have to do is allow yourself to be open to it. Because like with the Two of Cups being on the Chariot, it's like moving towards balance and something that is more aligned with you, whatever it is, a relationship, a job, friendships, again, your future self, whatever. The Page of Swords on top of the Ace of Swords, I fucking love this too, because they're literally holding the Ace of Swords in their hand. This is already having the perspective, already having the idea, and you're starting to put that into practice. Playing around with it a little bit, like getting comfortable with the idea, literally. Letting it swirl around in there, and like I said, clarity. Keeping an open mind, not getting stuck. Not getting stuck or snagged on any one idea. Like for pages for me, they really don't attach themselves to anything. They're not supposed to. They're also messengers, so there could be, communication coming in. You could be communicating, like I just said. Literally just putting a little birdie out there, a little tweet, not on Twitter. Fuck that fucking Elon Musk, but little tweet. I'm looking for whatever, and seeing what comes back to you. But yeah, pages, like I said, they don't really attach themselves to anything. It's just playful. It's trying. It's, trial and error. It's, choosing an idea and seeing if it holds water. If it doesn't, okay, like something else, like just tweaking it a little bit or allowing your perspective to change. Literally, I mean, everything that comes with, allowing yourself to be open-minded, even to like whatever opportunity comes into you, being open-minded about that. The Seven of Swords, it's interesting that it's on the Five of Cups, because the Seven of Swords for me is the card of us fooling ourselves. It's self-sabotage. It's, limiting beliefs. It's, Brene Brown calls them gremlins. And so there's these limiting beliefs or stories that you've been carrying around that are almost even hiding. And that could be part of the whole point of needing to be more discerning, to even like I said, to separate yourself a little bit, to not like isolate in a bad way, but just be in your own energy without the distractions and opinions and other people's problems and OPP. Who is that? Naughty by Nature? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with OPP? Everybody. So yeah. the reason or the intention, I should say, behind that is to dig into this shit. What is this for you? What's the Five of Cups and what's the Seven of Swords? Where is the grief hidden? Just some things, even, it could be multiple things, they just kind of like piled up, or they have a relation to each other that you need to honor and you need to feel and you need to let come up and be addressed. And there might even be some truths in there too that you recognize, like, oh, I have that limiting belief, or that's, I self-sabotage because of a link or connection to whatever the Five of Swords or Five of Cups is. It's interesting because all this shit is leading you to this period with the Five of Cups and Seven of Swords. You're not going to be able to avoid this. And why would you? I mean, like, it really seems like the timing is ripe for you to go through this. The whole, like, the only way out is in, or the only way out is through, or whatever. Like, it really seems like you would have the capacity, the availability, the information, to go through whatever that is for you, so that you can truly, like, let it go and fully integrate into your new way of being, your new future, your, like, what you are transitioning into. King of Cups, Ten of Cups. And it's interesting that now we have other cards that have other people. The King of Cups, that is emotional maturity. That's also having clarity and understanding of your emotion. Of your intuition, of, like, why your intuition is telling you or guiding you to where it is. And also, kings are looked to as, like, leaders and authorities. So, it's again, like, learn or having the capacity to be that leader, people that somebody look up to, the role model, right? Without maybe, like, attaching yourself to, because, like, I keep feeling like this cord releasing from, like, my own gut. And it's like releasing yourself from, like, the responsibility of others, or, hey, like, this is my understanding of things. This is how I have come to where I'm at, or the healing that I've been through, how I am guided by my intuition, or whatever. But not attaching to what other people do with that, whether they listen, whether they don't, whether they disagree or not. It's just, okay, I'm just sharing my experience. The Ten of Cups is, like, everything good. It's community, it's family, it's joy, it's bliss, it's everybody feeling purposeful, feeling fulfilled. It's almost like you have to do everything else that we talked about in order to, like, be able to fully be, like, present and expressed in your relationships, whatever kind of business, romantic, friendships, platonics, yourself. Like, you have to go through this whole shit that we already talked about, so that you can be fully expressed, which I'm assuming is the intention. But it like takes less from you. It doesn't feel like an attack or siphoning of your energy or whatever, right? It feels more, like, grounded and protected and calm. I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. And I close the space with gratitude and ease. All energies are released, returning to their rightful paths. May what was received be integrated with clarity and peace. I just kind of said that a little bit. Okay, bye.